Breath of the Wild is a really huge game, and you get a feeling of it the very second you step out of the Shrine of Resurrection, because the first thing the game shows you is this massive world and adventure you have ahead of you. And thanks to this reasoning, movement and getting around the overworld quickly has been the #1 priority of optimizing when it comes to speedrunners. So today, I wanted to go over something brand new that was just discovered that is going to change speedrunning on every single category of Breath of the Wild forever. So first, I'd like to dive into what originally was discovered when the game was launched, and that was stasis launches. Stasis launch was the first breakthrough that speedrunners had in optimizing the movement system that we had available in Breath of the Wild. So how this was performed was to go up to an object such as a tree or a rock, you would stasis it, hit it a bunch, and then jump up onto the object. Then right as the stasis was about to run out, you would jump in front of it, get hit by it as it was flying forward, and that would boost you forward, gaining a good amount of speed and just shooting you forward. However, you would lose the speed fairly quickly, and you also had to set it up pretty slowly, taking about 10 seconds every single time, because you had to actually find an object that was good and then stasis it, and also to make it optimal you needed a good angle, and it was just kind of a hassle. Then about a year ago or so, another glitch was discovered known as bullet time bounces, which I'm sure you've all seen if you kept up with the speedrunning community. Now this trick had a much bigger impact on the run, because as long as you had an enemy that you could land onto, then what you could do is you could enter bullet time mode by taking out your bow, and then if you cancel bullet time mode just as you bounce on an enemy's head, you could get an enormous amount of speed due to the game miscalculating what speed Link should have from the bounce since he was in bullet time mode, and then he canceled it just as he got bounced. Now, there is a few problems with this, however, and that is that to actually set this up, it's actually incredibly precise. The positioning and angle required for you to actually get a bounce properly on a Bocoblin's or an enemy's head so you could bounce into the correct direction and at full speed was actually really difficult, and also it took some time to set up, and it also restricts us to areas where we can be above a Bokoblin, so it didn't make it too quick, unfortunately. However, with this brand new discovery now, that is all going to change. So you might be wondering what was discovered. Now this trick is known as BIL, or Bomb Impact Launches for short. Now, how this trick is basically performed is that you place down a bomb, and then you jump forward, enter bullet time mode, and drop another bomb. You then want to explode the other bomb, and what is going to happen is that if you place the bombs correctly, instead of the second bomb actually exploding from the first explosion, it's instead going to be pushed forward since there is such a huge amount of momentum going out from the first bomb explosion. And when the second bomb actually goes into Link's body, it's going to push him forward such an enormous amount of speed that you're actually going to get an insane amount of speed, and also you can angle this to just purely get height as well. It all depends on how you angle the actual second bomb with the coordination of the first bomb. Now you might be wondering, why is this so useful and why does this change so much? Well, like I said earlier, both previous methods not only had a setup time, but they also had some restrictions. For example, a location where you were slightly higher above ground, you could stasis an object, or you had to go above a Bokoblin, or anything like that. On this one, this works anywhere in the game as long as there is just a small ledge so that you can actually jump and actually entering bullet time mode by actually taking out your bow. So by any single ledge in the game, or even just a slope from a mountain, as long as you jump, take out the bomb, and then take a second one out, you can do this pretty easily. This can also be set up in different ways, such as placing a bomb, then going up on a ledge, then backflipping off the ledge, taking out a bomb, and that's going to push you as well. There's many different ways to do it. And probably the most useful strategy that has been found with this new discovery is the fact that you can chain actual explosions. So, if you actually initiate a BIL and then you're in midair and you need more height or you need more speed and you have the stamina for it, then what you can simply do is you can just take out the bow and then start flying again, which is going to cancel your speed out. You can then just drop a bomb, stop flying forward, take out your bow, drop the second bomb, and then explode the first one and initiate one in midair. Which means that you can, theoretically, as long as you have the stamina for it, you can get an infinite amount of height or speed So you can actually cover the entire overworld of Breath of the Wild now, officially, in only one flight, as long as you have the stamina required. Now, what is this going to change? Well, I've been keeping up a lot with the community, and also on Twitter and the Discord and a bunch of other social medias, and the community has been going absolutely ham testing out things. So if you look at the any percent category, which is known as just beating the game as fast as possible, the routes most likely won't change too drastically. People are looking into possibly rerouting the Great Plateau. However, the main actual difference for these routes is probably going to be the fact that it's going to speed up the process of, instead of doing slow, tedious setups or bullet time bounces, or actually having a lot of overall movement just running around, you're instead going to set them up with BILs. So for example, in Hyrule Castle, we could now actually route in a BIL to reach the end of Hyrule Castle instead of running up a bunch of stuff and then doing a really slow, tedious stasis launch with a box. Now, the biggest impact for this, however, is going to be the actual longer categories, the 100%, the all main shrines, the all dungeons categories, you name it. All of those categories that require a lot of more stuff in the overworld to be completed is going to be drastically different, because previously routes were locked down and couldn't be fully just open and routed as they wanted to, because they had to take in consideration how slow it was to, for example, ride a horse or run across the overworld. So they had to route specific orders so that they could have an object to stasis or an enemy to bullet time bounce off to reach the next area. But now, you can basically from anywhere in the game actually do this. I mean, just think about this. Let's say you leave a shrine, right? And you just got done with the shrine. You could literally just, even if there's a flak ground around you, you could just jump up on the little pedestal where you place your Sheikah Slate and you can initiate one right there. No problem at whatsoever. You can do this anywhere. So I hope this can give you just a small grasp of how crazy this glitch is and how much it's going to change the speedrunning community as a whole. But yeah, on the screen right now, I'm going to put up some clips of people testing some crazy bullet time bounces, and I'm also going to put their Twitters in the description if you want to check them out, because there's a lot of clips being posted on Twitter right now of people testing out all of these bullet time bounces right now. But either way, to end this video off, I kind of just want to make a simple explanation and also a controller cam, kind of giving you an idea of how to do this glitch yourself, because I had some problems with it, and what I found to be the most consistent if you just want to try this glitch out for yourself, because I believe that you can probably get this within a few tries if you try for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I recommend is that you go up onto like a ledge. I would recommend, for example, is going to the beginning of the game. Why not just go to the Great Plateau and go to this ledge? Then what you want to do is you want to look towards the ledge, and then all you want to do is you want to be a little bit quick on your hands. So make sure that you have the round bomb equipped onto your inventory. And then I like to change my camera to be on the side of Link so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Then you want to basically start holding the direction towards the ledge, press the jump button, and as you press the jump button, tap the L button to drop the bomb, and then a split second later, tap the ZR button to take out your bow. And you should now see that you have dropped the bomb and you are in bullet time mode. Now at this point, if you're able to time that correctly, it all now depends on what you want to do. Do you want to have a straight angle to get pushed forward as much, or want to get a lot of height? Because all you have to do now is basically just hold the D-pad up, change so that you have the square bomb, then place that down, and then immediately press D-pad up again, switch to the circular bomb, and then just click the L button to explode it. And if you do that correctly, you should be automatically pulled out of bullet time mode and just get pushed forward with a great amount of speed. And you can then just press the paraglider button and you will now paraglide, and you should be good to go. I found that doing the chained BIL launches in mid-air is a lot more difficult. The most consistent way I found was to basically be still and then press the L button as you start holding the forward analog stick and then time the bullet time mode. But the thing that makes this a little more difficult is that you need to time when to take out the bullet time mode so that the bomb had enough time to drop downwards, but it can't have been too much because then it won't be enough speed, but it can't be too little. So this timing is a little bit finicky, and you also can't just go forward on the analog stick because then the bomb drop will have a different momentum. So I found this one a little more difficult, but I'm sure if you play around it for a bit, you should be able to get a good feeling for it. But either way, I'm going to keep covering all of these crazy stuff and developments in Breath of the Wild, so I really hope you did enjoy this video. Also, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about the deduplication video I was supposed to post that I was mentioning in my last video. I got completely sidetracked with events and also submissions for Games Done Quick, but I'm happy to say that I'm officially back on YouTube grind, so expect to see that video within the next few days and for more YouTube content to come. So if you want to see more Breath of the Wild or just Zelda content in general, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out my Twitch channel to see me testing these strategies and doing speedruns live. And without further ado, I will see you all in the next one.